Hi there, I want to have a look at the basics of Photoshop, just kind of recovering what we did in the lesson. To import an image, file open, or you can just click on the background. Now I've opened up a photograph here. If we click on here, we get some information about it. 72 pixels per inch. It's using RGB color. RGB color is used to display on screens. If you're making something for print, it's obviously red, green, blue. If you're making something for print, you would use where's it gone? CMYK, which is cyan, magenta, yellow, and K means black. And these are ink colors. It looks a bit flatter and a little bit more washed out than working in RGB on a screen, but it is suited to print work. Now the first thing we want to do when we import an image is try and straighten it out. Looking at this, it's slightly crooked. We've got like a bit of a slope. To straighten it out, we need to find the ruler tool. In mine it's here, but if you left click and hold, you have a range of tools. It's usually the eyedroppers there by default, but we just want the ruler tool. And to use this, I'm going to left click and drag out a line along where I think the straight horizon is, which I'm guessing here. Once you've done that, you go up to the top and click straighten layer. It will think about it, and hey presto, we've got our image straight. Now once we've done that, you can see we've got a little bit of background showing here. This little grid pattern is how Photoshop tells you that you're looking at the transparent background. If you were to print this out, it wouldn't show up as a checkered pattern, but we don't really like it, so we're going to use the cropping tool to kind of cut the image down. So if we click the cropping tool, which is over here, if you can't see it, it could be hidden under one of these again, but we've got lucky and it's on the top. To use it, we just click on the corner points, and you see we can just move it up and down. It's got a rule of thirds grid on it at the moment, which is a compositional tool used by photographers. The point is you try and have three things of interest pretty much on these lines. We've got my friend here, and maybe the gate, and we've got this like church thing over here. So we're kind of matching some of the rules of a good photograph. So I'm just going to drag this over here until I've got the whole thing framed as I want it. Now we've got an option with this, which is delete cropped pixels. If delete cropped pixels is selected, when you OK the selection, it just gets rid of the bits of the photo we've removed. But really, you're better off keeping things and using a non-destructive workflow, because then if you change your mind, you can always go back and do something about it. Where if it's gone forever. Right, now I want to have a look at the levels of this picture and to adjust my white point and my black point. To do that, we'll do it the correct way, and we shall use an adjustment layer, which is this circle, half black, half white. If we click this and then choose levels, then we get this little graph up here, which is called a histogram, and it's got some adjustments on it. This is for the shadows, and this is for the kind of highlights, and it tells you how many shadows and how many highlights you have. We're not actually doing too badly here, but we shall adjust it and just so you can see what actually happens. So if we crank this up, we turn it down and down and down and make the shadows stronger and stronger and stronger. And if we move the one on the right, so we're adjusting the highlights, and we can make it brighter and brighter until it's way too bright. Things to look out for on the histogram is sometimes the white edge doesn't make it all the way here and there'd be a gap, and in this case you just move it along till your arrows touch. Now this middle point adjusts our midtones, so we can just tweak this gradually until we've got it looking reasonably well balanced. Now, when you're working with adjustment layers, this adjustment layer, I mean the layers in general, will adjust everything underneath. So if you've got more layers down here, this will be adjusting them all. If you only want this layer, this adjustment layer, to affect this image, we need to use this button here. So if we click this, you get this little arrow telling you it's only doing the layer below, which is a really useful thing to know about. So that's the very, very basics of Photoshop. Now, as we choose to go more advanced, we've got a whole range of kind of effects and things we can do to this to really make the image more exciting and dynamic. We can draw into it and we can apply filters and things. Just trying to think what else we could do with looking at while we're doing the basics. No, I think that's fine for lesson 1 before the video gets too long. Thank you for watching.